Welcome to another video on obscure Bible characters. Greetings in Jesus' name. As India completes its 73 years of independence, I want to wish all my fellow Indians a happy Independence Day. For today's brief study, we will not be studying a person, but we will be studying on India in the Bible and what it means to us as Indian Christians. As soon as we mention the name India, we remember Esther chapter 1 verse 1, where India is mentioned as the eastern border of the kingdom of Ahasuerus, a Medo-Persian king. This is repeated again in Esther chapter 8 verse 9, where Mordecai's orders to save the Jews are sent to all the provinces of Persia, which includes India. The Hebrew term used here is Hodu, which is a variation of the word Hind or Indus. India is not just seen in the Bible in the context of Esther. There are many other places where indirectly India is seen. Let us look at one very important aspect of India in ancient world history. That is about trade. India had trade relations with ancient civilizations around the world. One of the earliest instances is the discovery of the Indus Valley seals in Mesopotamia. This shows that India had trade relations with ancient civilizations. Some of the main things traded from India or imported into the other parts of the world from India were spices and perfumes. Now, let's come back to what we see in the Bible about India in relation to trade. As early as 2000 BC and even till today, India is known for its trade in spices. And we see the use of Indian spice in the Bible, beginning from Exodus chapter 30 verse 23. The first spice we see here is cinnamon. Cinnamon is seen as an ingredient of the holy oil used in the tent of meeting. We see this in Exodus chapter 30 verse 23. Cinnamon finds its origin in the Indian subcontinent. It is interesting to see how this ingredient of the holy oil used in the tabernacle belongs to our side of the world. The second one is a perfume, and it is called nard or spikenard. If you're familiar with this name, spikenard can be seen in the Song of Solomon chapter 1 verse 12 and in Mark chapter 14 verse 3, and there are many other passages in the Bible that speak about spikenard. Spikenard was also called as the nard of the ancients. Interestingly, the botanical name of spikenard is Nardostachys jatamansi. The name jatamansi is directly taken from its Indian name, which is also seen in vernacular translations of the Bible. This plant is native to India, especially the Himalayas. Greco-Roman world imported it a lot. We see the use of spikenard in Mark chapter 14, where Jesus is anointed by Mary of Bethany. Jesus said that Mary had done a very beautiful thing for him in preparation of his burial. Mark mentions very clearly that this is a very expensive perfume. It amazes me to think that this precious perfume from my land was used to anoint Jesus. We see another reference to spices in Revelation chapter 18 verse 13. The Greek word used for spices here is Ammon. When translated, it means a fragrant Indian spice. It's interesting to see how the language is influenced here because of Indian spice trade. The same word is later Latinized and called amomum to refer to a genus of odorous plants. It is from here we derive words like cardamom. If that is familiar to you, it's a spice of Indian origin. Apart from spice trade, India seems to be mentioned in the book of 1 Kings chapter 10 verse 22. It talks about Solomon receiving a cargo of special goods from a place called Ophir. Jewish tradition holds that Ophir refers to a port in India. It is speculated that the ancient port of Sopara, in present-day Nala Sopara in Maharashtra, was the ancient Ophir. The reason people refer this to as a port in India is because of the goods that were brought in Solomon's time. There were gold, silver, sandalwood, ivory, peacocks, and apes, most of which are found plenty in India. Especially the mention of sandalwood. Sandalwood finds its origin in India. Ancient Indian texts also report about Sopara being an ancient port that exported goods to the Mesopotamian region. In those texts, we find that Sopara exported ivory and pearl. In fact, Sopara had a pearl fishery. Therefore, we see how India has been mentioned in the Bible directly and indirectly. What does this mean to us as Indian Christians? We must remember that India is on the mind of God. We are called to be the sweet aroma of Christ to God. And also, let us remember, just like India was known for its spices, Indian Christians can be fragrant Christians. Our lives can shine out to people around the world, and our lives can be exemplary. I would also like to make a small mention of how Mahatma Gandhi was influenced by the Bible. In his biography, he talks about the Sermon on the Mount, and he mentions that it went straight to his heart. The famous quote that we keep hearing that Gandhiji said, to turn your other cheek when someone slaps on one, he had actually quoted that from Matthew chapter 5, verse 39. In his biography, Mahatma Gandhi mentions that Jesus' non-violence was par excellence. As we have seen the importance that India has in the Bible, let us as Indian Christians be encouraged to live a life that glorifies God. God bless you.